Today we are going to discuss one very important source of ethics, that is religion. How do you define religion? Religion is not belief in gods. Some religions don't believe in it, like Buddhism. So religion is broadly defined as phenomena dealing with supernatural attitudes, beliefs, behavior associated with the supernatural. This supernatural can be gods, demons, spirits, whatever. But related to supernatural. But of course, what is natural and what is supernatural may vary from society to society and from time to time. Rain at one time was considered supernatural, but now most people consider it natural, but some continue to consider it as supernatural. That is why you see ignas being done to get the rain. So, religion is something to do with supernatural phenomena. That's one thing about religion. Most people associate religion with few religions: Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity. But these are not the only religions. These religions are called world religions. These are world religions. By that we mean far more popular across many societies. But religious phenomena is part of even the simplest of the societies. Anthropologists have not found a single society without religion. There is no society without religion. So, religious phenomena is part of human societies. Religion has been coexisting with human societies. Or probably religion was there even before the emergence of human societies. Different kinds of supernatural beliefs. So religion is more than these world religions. More than this. Far more widespread than any of these world religions. And you know how these religions came about? Judaism, ancient. Next, Buddhism and Jainism. Hinduism. Christianity, first century AD. Islam, 7th century. Sikhism, recent. Judaism, very old. Hinduism, old. Buddhism, Jainism, 6th century. Christianity, 1st century AD. Islam, 7th century. This starting from 15th. So religions are born, they grow and change. Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity and Islam, Sikhism have founders. Buddha, Mahavira, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Guru Nanak. But some don't have founders. Hinduism doesn't have a founder. Judaism consists of so many prophets. Moses is one very important. So some have founders, some don't have founders. And all religions change over a period of time. You know, Hinduism, as we know today, came around 4th century AD. Rama, Krishna, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and many of the features. But Hinduism at one time was different. It was Vedism and then Buddhist influence. And then Vedism transformed. And finally, Hinduism is what it is today. And some religions are connected. For example, from Judaism came Christianity. Jesus Christ was a Jew who said he was a messenger. And Islam is influenced by Judaism and Christianity. Judaism to Christianity and Islam influenced. Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism are related. Buddhism influenced Hinduism. And all of them have similar concepts, like moksha is common to all of them. And Sikhism wanted to attempt a kind of fusion between Hinduism and Islam. Both. It wanted to say God is beyond these divisions. It was against division of man into these religions. Started by Guru Nanak. So these are how religions, some of them are founded, changing, evolving. But what do these religions have to do with ethics? Religion is source of ethics. Do's, don'ts, right and wrong, ideals. This is what religion says. Often a religion is nothing but an ethical system. Christianity is an ethical system. Islam is an ethical system. Hinduism is an ethical system. I'm not saying that it is only an ethical system, but there are other aspects also. But it can be viewed as an ethical system. And when these world religions spread to other areas, it is nothing but spread of ethical systems. When Christianity spreads to simple societies, Christian ethics attempt to replace the older ethics. But how are they in a position to replace? They are in a position to replace because often the ethical systems of world religions are much higher compared to primitive ethical systems. So when Islam spread, it's a higher-end ethical system. When Christianity spread, high-end ethical system. When Buddhism spread, so it is. Spread of ethics, spread of certain ideals, founded by one. And the teachings spread. So that's how religion and ethics are linked. We know that religion is to do with the supernatural, but more specifically, let us examine relation of religion with God. Some religions believe in one God, Islam and Christianity. Hinduism believes in gods, and Buddhism no God. So religions have different relationship with gods. And out of this relationship, different processes are created. For example, Jesus said, Son of God. And Muhammad said, Messenger of God. Jesus, Son of Muhammad, Messenger. In Buddhism, there is no God. Hinduism, too many gods. So how does a modern man understand these gods? See, for me it is very clear. It is not necessary that the students should accept. It's clear and obvious that there is of course no God. There is no God. That's how I proceed. But it doesn't mean that prophets are lying. It doesn't mean that Jesus was lying. It doesn't mean that Muhammad was lying. What I see is that they are undergoing certain spiritual experiences. Which they called as their relationship with God. Some deep inner spiritual experiences out of which truth is generated, insight is generated. Definitely they are not faking those spiritual experiences. They are too honest and great to fake such things. But they are calling it God. Probably a modern scientific man may not call it that way, but that's how they were calling it. Anyway, what I also want a modern reader to understand is that only in a modern world, gods are very distant. But in a simple or ancient world, gods were very close to humans. In the sense that people think of many things in terms of God, or oracles telling them, gods directing them, gods punishing them, rewarding them. Gods were very close to humans at one time. So, the idea that one is a son of God, one is a messenger of God, or God's talking to people, they may look quite vague for a modern man, but that is how people thought at one time. That's how, which was not considered unusual at that time. So thinking in terms of gods, giving importance to spiritual experiences, and out of which generation of ethics, generation of what is right and wrong, is what religion is. Let's say you are a son of God, messenger of God, and they taught, they influenced. All that is right and valid, even if one doesn't believe in God. So that's how it works. So, it is creation of ethical systems, period of ethical system, with reference to some supernatural, with reference to gods, with reference to heaven and hell, and like that. So, an ethical system embedded in supernatural. Probably that's what religion is. Certain ethical systems or certain ethical ideas are not embedded in supernatural. Socrates proposed ethics, but he said we should reason out to get what is just. He said he was reasoning and he asked others to reason, but taught ethical system. But Jesus said that his father was telling him what is true and he asked others to follow. And he followed heaven, not followed hell. So ethical system clothed in supernatural, but there is no supernatural here. But sometimes the founder may not say it in the supernatural, but over a period of time it becomes a religion. Buddha spoke like Socrates, without reference to supernatural. But then he said certain very profound things people didn't understand. They were as good as the supernatural. Became like this. I'm not referring to chronology, I'm referring to the process. So he didn't want to found a religion, he was only discussing truth, but he ended up founding a religion. So was Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak didn't think he was founding a religion. In fact, he was against all religious divisions. He wanted people to have or reflect on God rather than think of themselves as Hindus and Muslims and fight. But then, out of that teaching, a completely new religion came up. Guru Nanak unknowingly founded one. Buddha unknowingly founded one. So religions are created in variety of ways. So we need to look at how some people, under what circumstances, created these ethical systems which we call religions, and how they continue to influence mankind, and whether those ethical systems remain valid today or man simply got stuck up with those systems unknowingly and unnecessarily. So, to be able to understand the creation and the spread of ethical systems and their influence on mankind, we need to consider various religious thinkers also. I think we can start that with Jesus.